Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think of him?
Well, the thing that I'll even go a little step further here. And again, I don't watch Myles Turner every day, and I watch every game. I know what he's capable of. He's a guy that's a floor stretcher, block shots like crazy to the rim,
Right.
which Boston can definitely use. The one
Right.
thing that I think, again, Horford gives you a vet presence, which I think Brad, again, we've acted it like that's something they're looking for. And again,
Right.
Turner is a young, promising big man, but he doesn't have experience in the playoffs and experience in this roster like Horford has. You know what I mean? Like that's got to mean something. The money owed to Turner versus the money owed to Horford is also something we can talk about here in a little bit, because Horford has that 14.5 million, partial guarantee coming up that makes him slightly, more tradable as we get closer to trade deadline stuff. But the other thing I will say is, and Ime talked about this too, they like bigs that can pass.
Right.
And the thing about Horford is his vision as a high post passer, facilitator at the high post is something that I think gets lost. And as you try and talk about valuing ball movement, there's something right there between. And look, we all know Rob has this as part of his game as well. You have two guys there that can move the basketball at the 5 spot, which I think they value a little bit. I think look, I'm not saying I think we went maybe a little too overboard with the Myles Turner thing, in one direction of like, oh man, like, is Myles Turner even that good? Like yeah, Myles Turner's a good player.
And he led the league in blocks, right?
Yeah. Would he have made the Celtics better last year? Probably, how much better? I don't know, but they would have at least had a big man presence in the middle that they sorely missed throughout the entire season. But I think Horford, just the way he fits with this team, and knows these guys. Like, I think the familiarity means a lot more than just having a young, freak, athletic guy in Turner who makes more money than Horford anyway. So I think I like Myles Turner, but he's not the guy I'm looking to add at this point if I'm the Celtics to this roster. I don't think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't think and that word edge. When I think of edgy, I don't think of Myles Turner. I just I mean, he gets blocks, he gets stats, but he's not.
Well, and defensive rating too, like he, net rating, that type of thing, into the analytics. Like he's a good defender. I mean, let's not discount his ability on that end of the floor. He's, whether he's as good a team defender as Al Horford, I honestly have no idea. I haven't dug into those metrics, but I just think sort of the cost benefit analysis of the whole thing.
Right.
And the fact that he's a young vet. He's 24, 25 years old. And he's been in the league, a handful of years. Durability has been a problem just the last couple of seasons. But yeah, I mean, I think he's a fine player. I wasn't goo for him, last year, and I'm not this year either.
I mean, you've already got a guy with durability issues who you're hoping finally gets through that. And now you're going to add another big with the same kind of stuff. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of a match that is.
One of the big talking points, Mark, over weeks, really.
Hang on. Before we move on here, I'm sorry I'm cutting in here, Adam, but I just want to bring this up. And I know that we're going to look at counting stats and say that Myles Turner is better with counting stats than Rob. Well, the reason for that is he plays way more, per game.
You got to get into the per 36 minutes.
If you get into per 36 and per 100 possessions, Rob actually, kind of pans out a little bit better than Myles Turner. Per 36, Myles Turner's 14.6 points, 7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1 steal, and 3.9 blocks a game, which is pretty elite, right? And he shoots threes. Rob doesn't. So that, helps him out a little bit. He shoots 34% from 3 on 5 attempts per 36. Meanwhile, Rob, 15.2 points a game, 13 rebounds per 36 versus 7.6 assists, 33.4 assists per game, 1.6 steals per game, and he's not too far behind in blocks at 3.3 per 36. Then if you go to the per 100 possessions, Rob's numbers, both offensive rating and defensive rating, are better. 139 offensive rating, 104 defensive rating versus Myles Turner, 112 and 108. So, like, they kind of already have someone that's already.
But that's if, where he totally, and Mark brought this up, where he totally dwarfs Rob as much as I hate to say it, because, big time Lord guy, but it's, you know, get in the face of my mic here. Durability. It's a problem. Guy can't stay on the floor. And until he can stay on the floor, it's like the comp doesn't even matter. We can't keep, you know, we got to keep Rob Williams on the floor. You know, the royal we got to keep the guy on the floor to actually let him hit that ceiling. I've been talking about Rob Williams being the starting center for this team for 2 full seasons at this point, 2 full years. I've been talking about this, but you know, as soon as he just looks like he's ready to mature and get into that spot, injury. You know, it's every time like clockwork, fittingly enough for his nickname. And I don't know what we're supposed to do with that going forward, but I don't think you want to then invest in, and look, Al Horford could be the same situation just because of his age, but you know, it's hard to invest in another young player who has trouble staying on the court.
I think that it'll be interesting once camp starts, but that Rob Horford combination, I mean, you talk about ball movement. I mean, you know, I know there's no comparison between Turner and Time Lord in terms of passing ability. I mean, Rob is really elite at finding shooters. He's already to that point, I think. And that's what they're going to be doing. They're, you know, that's how you're going to make Tatum better. That's how you're going to make Jalen better, is with a passing big like that. So yeah, keep him on the floor. You know, his injuries tend to be kind of fluky. So, you know, what could happen next?
Hi guys, Cedric Maxwell here. I want to take a minute to tell you about Marigold Medical. I'm used to keeping my body in great shape, but with arthritis, even the most simple everyday tasks became unbearable. As soon as I called Marigold Medical, I knew I was in good hands. No drugs, no surgery, just an experienced team of caring professionals that wanted to get me back to doing the things I love. Make the call to Marigold Medical and get back to pain-free life.